I'm feeling good, man. Good.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Started right off, Rhymefest LA.
Ooh, Rhymefest. First off, shout out to Rhymefest for continuing every year to put together a dope hip hop show. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of those. Although we do have some level of like festivals and things like that, it don't feel the same. And I'm speaking from somebody coming from like the one being backstage, the energy. You know, I'm not talking about the crowd. I'm talking about more so like what we do, like being backstage, talking to artists and curators and whatnot. And it's just a good vibe. So shout out to them. Yesterday was phenomenal. Yesterday was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? We had a set on the LRG stage. There were two stages. So there was the LRG stage and the Sprite stage. So we had a jam session set on the LRG stage. And really what we wanted to do was, because we're a production house, I don't rap no more, it's over. But we do have like our musicians and, you know, artists that we work on records with. So what we did was we put together a set that comprised of like, you know, the anthem that we're actually about to release, like one of the anthem songs we're going to release from the album. Then artists that we work with that got records out right now, and then an actual jam session where we invited some artists from the crowd to come rap with us. You know what I'm saying? Then we had some legends come in. You know what I mean? We had Medusa come through and just illest freestyle, and then we had MC Supernat. You know what I'm saying? You already know Supernat is fire. So it was a dope set, man. We actually gonna put the footage out, you know, later on this week. I also got a chance to just kind of, you know, just go backstage and just enjoy and have conversations with people that I've done business with, records with, you know, made classics, artists that I haven't got the chance to make music with, legends, you know what I'm saying? Linked up with Capadonna, King T, Master Ace, Tash from the Alcoholics, you know what I mean? Of course, my guy Worthy was there, you know what I'm saying? Alchemist. There's just so many people. Day One, you know what I'm saying? My boy Dope Networks, you know what I'm saying? Badru, my business partner, was all through the whole scene. It was just so much energy, and it was dope because everybody's excited to work on music. Like everybody's excited this year to work on something new and dope. You know what I'm saying? Planet Asia, you know what I'm saying, as well. Onyx, you know, my guy Frederick, who was talking about putting together a project, you know, Onyx and Local Astronauts. So that was dope. So we had fun, man. We had fun. I didn't stay the entire time because I actually had to do some TV and film stuff at the studio. But man, for the time I spent, it was hours. I had fun.
Of course, you had some TV and film stuff to do. Yo, man, that sounds dope as hell, man. And everybody, what I think is tight is everybody that you just named is releasing music.
Right.
Like everybody that you just named has new projects, and they're like all perennial names in this thing of ours, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, man. Glad you had that time that you should have had. Like, what are you taking from it?
Yeah, you know, it's just one of those hip hop times. You know, people that know me know I'm a lab rat. I stay in the studio a lot. So, you know, it's funny because even my business partner, Badru, is telling me, he like, yo, there's just some events, there's just some things you just have to be outside for. You know what I'm saying? He's right. You know what I mean? If you ask me if I'd rather be in a lab or be somewhere, you know, I'm always choose the lab. But it's one of them times where it's like we both have to be out. We both have to go enjoy. You know what I mean? And it's always good to see people, you know, that you haven't seen in a while. You may have been sending emails and stuff like that, but you just haven't seen them in person in a while and get a chance to talk to them. And you know, with all of the you know, deaths and passing away from a lot of our legends, man, it's just good to just see people, man. It's just good to see people. And that was the best thing about it, you know what I'm saying, was just to really get back and see people, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just taking from it like be in the moment, live more in the moment as much as you can, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real.
From the counselor himself. This was your first Rhymefest.
This wasn't my first Rhymefest, but it was the first Local Astronauts Rhymefest being on stage.
Okay.
Yeah. But
that was a different you know, from when you went there, not with local to now?
It's more so just the camaraderie of artists that we work with, like from, you know, putting out records, doing videos, you know, getting on other types of stages to, you know, not only did we help some newer artists get on the Rhymefest stage, but we also some of the legends, just all of us rocking all together at the same time. So I think that was the pleasurable moment, is just, you know, being able to be at Rhymefest, more so promoting the collection of what we do as local astronauts. You know what I'm saying? That was a big difference. You know what I mean? So, you know, I enjoyed that. That was really, really fun.
That's dope, man. I saw Supernat one time, like in Leimert. And fuck, he was doing he was doing all the impressions, he was doing everything. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, this is what I love this thing for.
Right.
Tight, man. What's the best moment for you from the Rhymefest experience?
The best moment for me was you know, seeing Capadonna, chopping up with him. You know how, listen, you know how I am about the Wu-Tang Clan. Super, super duper fan. And it was funny because I was actually going to the front through the artist gate just to make sure one of my colleagues was good. And in the midst of that, Capadonna was just right there. And I'm like, first thing I said was like, yo, the Poppy Wardrobe King is here.
I was going to ask, what was he wearing? Like, what did he have on? Like, I know he
had on I forgot what the brand was, but it was really almost like a two-piece type of like suit, like the shirt and the pants. That shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. I actually got a picture on my Instagram page, but he was right there. My boy Vogel was there as well. So, you know, we was just chopping it up, and I was like, yo, you know, we definitely need to do some records together. I need to send you some stuff we need to lock in. And he like, man, you know, I'm gonna be in LA for a little bit, you know what I mean? So that's gonna be fire, you know what I mean? I didn't get a chance to see him on stage perform because he did some dope shit for ODB, but yeah, man, it's crazy.
Sounds tight, man. I know you got something for Kevin. I know you got something for any of those dudes, man. I was just watching the Ghostface interview.
Yeah.
Was it Bootleg Kev?
Yeah, Bootleg Kev, yeah.
Okay, what?
He was there too. He was actually hosting. He was hosting the Rhymefest when they got to that part of the stage.
Shout out Bootleg.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Shout out Bootleg. Doesn't that sound funny? Good guy.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm again so excited for you. Like, honestly, like, as long as I've known you, like, and I know this is not even the highlight of, you know, the things that you have done, but just to see you get to rock out with, you know, the legends and the up and comings that, you know, I'm tuned into, like, all in the same aspect.
Right.
It's a really good look, man.
Thanks, man. And that's the important part about hip hop, is that it's forever going. Like, you know, of course, there's always conversations about like new heads and old heads, but if it's hip hop, man, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's funny because you know, I've been a part of some of the newer records of artists that, like, legends working with new artists, and it's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. Like, and I'm not gonna name them right now because I'm waiting for it to drop. But that's the name of the game. Like, if you dope, you dope. I mean, just like, you know, Hit Boy and Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and Nas embracing Dave East, and you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. You know, Griselda working with, you know, Havoc, or working with, you know, Raekwon. Like, it's all coming together. Like, it's not nothing separate. I don't feel like a lot of this stuff is separate. I mean, I think styles of music are separate, and that's where you get the dynamic between what the young generation likes as opposed to what, you know, the classic hip hop culture is. But still, it's like every now and then you get a jewel where they come together and they work together. So it's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with that. You more mean like that's the most beautiful thing that we, you know.
Right.
That's why we're here talking about this. Straight up and down. I don't mean to misquote, an industry dude, because I'm not that. But straight up and down, man. Once again, congratulations! Like for real, I can't wait to see the footage. When you drop it.
For sure.
Straight up and down, because I know you've done a lot of records with a lot of these people who were featured on that joint, and I hope that you get those records with the people who you wanted to work with, people who you never even knew who were there.
Right.
Straight up and down, man. That's what I'm talking about. Back to the question: what are you taking away from it? Kind of phrasing it. Mm-hmm. What are you taking away from it as far as how it's going to move forward? This thing of ours, hip hop, straight up and down, in this summer of ours, the year of our Lord 2025. Like, what's going on?
I think that the music, and I'll explain, of course, what style, but I think the music, how we love it, is coming back around. You know how I go every couple of years, I'll probably say like 8 to 10 years, styles change. They change. They might go, it might be a dance phase, and then it might be emotional, phase where people are doing a lot more think pieces. Then it goes to like gritty hip hop, and then it'll circle back around, another fusion. It's circling around to like true and living hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like dope lyrics, dope beats, levels of intelligence with the music, cohesive albums, skits, features that are necessary, not because the label said you got to work with this person, but because the clips and Tyler, the creators, about fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to happen. Like, we're getting back to that. So I think that, first off, I think that this year has started off phenomenal. Like, to be honest, if this year was to musically, if this year was to end, we have enough to make a conversation. And I think that's the reason why we're like kind of here right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's had a great run. There's also some other projects that we'll get into later, but there's other projects that I feel like is going to come into the fold that's going to warrant more conversation of this great music. And I'm loving all of it, man. I just think that one thing I will say is, if you're somebody who has embraced this style, if you're a creator that has embraced this style, do your best to be a part of somebody's project that's doing this, big or small, it don't matter. You should be saying in 2025, I was a part of this record, I helped them with this record. I don't care what you do. Be a part of a record this year, for sure.
Question. Can we extend that or make that into the same statement as, should the young be working with the old right now, especially with the age divide that we have in hip hop? Like,
both.
It seems like same thing. Like it. So you agree with that?
100%, because in my opinion, I could be wrong, the conversation is not whether we should work together. The conversation is, let's reach out to each other. When you reach out to somebody, or you meet someone who's of the new or old generation, do your due diligence to do your homework later on. Once you meet them and exchange numbers or whatever,
you may never work together. You may never even work together, but just reach out and
reach out. That's the key. That's the key to all of it. Like, even this is this one guy that was there. His name was Ray Westlife or whatnot. He was a producer and a videographer. I've seen his work before, but we just sat down and we just had a whole conversation about plugins and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, let me get your information. I looked them up, and just being in tune with what's going on. Now, I'm like, let's work. Let's collab on a record for somebody. Let's do that. My point is, it's about reaching out and just befriending people on a basic level. You never know what you might get. Man, I've seen legendary artists be a part of records from new artists and then end up getting new platinum certifications, new money, getting paid from a sample that the new artist used from them. It's so much stuff that may happen. And then vice versa. I see new artists, that are trying to break in, end up working with a artist that's already legendary and then getting the fan base from them. Now people are tuning into you. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to go both ways. It has to be the communication. All of this, oh, he an old head, so I'm not going to approach him. Or he a young head, so he may don't know. Like, nah, we all human beings first before anything. So reach out. And that's what I did the whole Rhymefest. I'm talking to everybody. Everybody. Like, what can we do? If we can do something. If not, like my guys, Coast Contra. As soon as I seen them, oh, well, let's get it. They like, Rob, we got to, after we do all this show stuff and tour stuff, we gonna work. Say no more. You know what I'm saying? I did records with they pops already, and I've been watching them and helping them, just with the mental state of being a creative since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Those are my guys. You see what they doing? They smoking the stage. You know what I mean? But that's because they tap in. They learn from the legendary, our era, and then they incorporate that into the new era along with other elements. Because even the Queen and Slim record that they did was fire. So that was a blend of like new and old. So yeah, just reach out, man. Reach out.
That's dope, man. And way to break that down. Are there any other festivals or shows or collections, gatherings of that are making the same impact on that level? That
you know what? I think Rock the Bells still has that fire for sure.
They are, they have their audience.
Right, exactly.
Are they crossing over, in that aspect as Rhymefest?
I think they're trying to get more bigger artists. I think they're trying to move into the Coachella phase, in my opinion, at some level for what they do, not as far as artists that are not a part of what the hip hop culture is, but I just think they're trying to expand and get bigger. That's a great thing because they've been doing it for so many years. There's also other events like for instance, next week is an event called the August Fest, and the August Fest is actually one of my good guys, Sean August. He actually is putting on a fest where you have a lot more of the newer artists that are doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Day One is on the bill. Who else? Yoshi Vintage is on the bill. She's dope. She actually killed it at Rhymefest too. She did her thing. And it's a lot of artists from the West Coast. He's dedicating it to a lot of very, very new artists, but also artists on the West Coast that's blossoming. And what I'm saying is there's more events out there. We just have to be mindful of attending them or knowing about them. You know what I'm saying? Like even me, I got to do my homework on what more events are coming out there, because at the least, if you're a creator, you need to be there to network. Because when I tell you, like even at Rhymefest, it was so many. I'm talking about it's all the legends exhibit. They all just walking around. Not just backstage. I'm talking about just with the people.
Right.
And that's what you want to see, the hip hop.
Yeah.
As they should be, for sure. They're not just sitting there backstage chilling. No, they walking around doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure. But it's a couple of more. I can't think about it at the top of my head.
Well, I mean, you are absolutely correct though. We do need to be tuned in with what's going on, because it's not that just don't know. It's actually that is what it's about. We just don't know. But we can't take total, we can't take total blame for that. There are outlets that promote themselves correctly. There are outlets that don't. That depends on your audience, of course. That's just what we were saying with Rock the Bells. They have a cruise. They ain't got a bunch of young audiences, tapping in to buy tickets to the 7-day cruise to see niggas they ain't never heard about. Yeah, straight up and down. I can feel that. So there's been tons of these perennial legendary artists that have been releasing music just in this year alone. but it hasn't started with this year. Like, how many years can this be sustainable?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so I'm going to answer that question really quick. Let me just say this. All of the legendary artists, in my opinion, that have had some level of star status or greatness a part of their journey, I don't hold them to any charts or Billboard standards or sales standards at all. I don't care.
Totally agree.
Other blogs, they got to do their due diligence and try to compare it. That's what they do. I don't care about none of that. What I do care about is the quality of music that you put together. And for this reason, I'm like, whether you have a style that has not evolved or not, it can still be dope. But I do hold my legends to a very high standard of putting together a great body of work, because the game nowadays, it's a lot more easier to get access to great producers, a lot more access to getting great sound. You probably have some level of networking around you in some regard, to where if there's a feature that makes sense, should happen,
you're at least 3 degrees away from it.
Come on, man, you there. And last but not least, if you have been, hip hop is like, it's an ongoing thing. So even if you haven't released anything on a major label or major level, you still have been honing in your craft. So you still doing what you're doing. You're making records or whatnot. So if you're deciding to come out with a project, you better have been in the wheelhouse of, I'm still a artist. That's my only thing. I'm judging it purely by the music.
That's what we need to be doing. Yeah.
Right. Now, with that being said, I feel like it can be sustained only if the artist understands that the music you're working on now is about the body of work and not what you do. It's not about you per se. It's not about you trying to rise to the top, you trying to get the best record to go platinum. It's not about none of that. It's about just continuing to put up good, like how a wide receiver that's 12 years in the game, he just want to put up a good stats. He's not finna get 100 catches in a year. But if you get a good 300, 400 just to be effective, DeAndre Hopkins, be effective on a team, we with that.
And of course, with that development and that honing and that evolution of what you do, you turn into not just a role player. You're more like a mentor to the people.
Exactly, and that's what we need. I'm glad you said that, because that's what we need more than ever. We need the legendary artists to put out good think pieces, good EPs, good projects, to be able to say, hey, man, I sustained in this game for 20 years and I'm going another 10 doing what I love. And really, these new projects, you should be reaching out to younger artists. You should be ushering in at least one artist that you feel like got something to give the game. They don't have to be like you or nothing, but it's like, yo, on the next Nas album, I'm holding Nas to bringing up one of these young artists.
So the good transition right there, just in translation, so much good music been released just this year. But again, I tried to, get into when it started, which was probably like, at least a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
I think it was with like the LL Cool J album, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then the album of Common, you know what I mean? And it was a Common it was Common and Pete Rock.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
In the resurgence of what you referenced, the sound that we should be wanting to hear and that we're actually hearing, who has done the best job of bridging that gap between the old and the new?
I think, in my opinion, I think starting in this run, I think Common did. If you listen to Common's album is a great body of work. But I think it's been eclipsed by the Clips. I mean, see what I did there,
I saw that from clips away, yes.
And in my opinion, that's only because the Clips did something, and Pharrell, shout out to Pharrell. Pharrell did something that we appreciate because remember, the Clips albums that Pharrell did, he was always being innovative. That's his thing. Trying new things, also giving us stuff in the pocket. And I think, let's say this new album never came out. I think it would have always been a conversation that if Pharrell deliver us a true musical classic with the Clips? The albums that Clips did, one or two of them are classics because it's timeless. There's records a part of it that's timeless, right? But in my opinion, did they give us a 5-mic album from the previous albums? I don't think they did. But this new one is 5 mics. 100%. And I'm taking it back to the source. Shout out to the source. Yeah. It's unequivocally, it's 5 mics on every level. The beats, the concepts, the undertone story of the album, how many years it's been since they worked together, the Louis Vuitton Paris lock-in over the merch, the story about their parents. It's just all of it is what made it. And to be honest, we'll get to this part, but I think it's on a high. It's on my highest album of the year. You know what I'm saying?
I think the same. I agree with you. Like we can get to it right now. What album could compare to it that's come out this year? So far,
JID.
I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet. No spoilers. No. Why?
I'm going to say this. JID is an artist that always gives you substance. But when you listen to this album, you realize he went up another level that you probably didn't think he had. You thought he was gonna. It feels like, and I'm not talking about the sound musically. I'm talking about it feels like the Killer Michael album. You remember when Killer Mike was giving you dope, stellar projects? He on his wavelength. He doing his thing, and then when Michael came, he just It's like, oh, you doing that? JID did that. I think that is and I think it's one of those. It might be a close voting thing because the popularity, although it's on the Clip side, I think, and I got to say this, I think that the Grammy committee for the past 2 or 3 years, they're getting stronger. They're getting better people that know what the fuck they talking about, a part of this culture. And I think it's close.
We've been telling them that for I don't know how long.
For the past 20 years. Yeah. And they're finally getting people in there that are really dissecting these projects. So I think sonically, that's a close, like that's close right there. And I wouldn't be mad if JID won.
You said, okay, so, and who's the next runner-up?
I think because of storyline and what's going on in the culture, I think GNX, because, it's just, the story's just too great.
I see that. And it was a great album, too. It was a really good album, I thought. A lot of people rank it low. Lo and behold, compared to his specific.
Right. I don't think musically it holds up to the Clips, in my opinion. I think there's some strong points, very strong points, and then there's some low points.
Well, musically, I could probably Clips ain't that much higher.
Yeah, not at all.
I would say that Clips again, they kind of set the bar for the year.
Right. It then also just judging by, you know how people listen to certain things where you have to really like, even though GNX is a very fun album, you still have to dissect it to a certain level. So there's certain records that might not be as attractive to other people and fans as opposed to like the Clips album. But what I will say is, and I think people miss this point. This is the reason why I say, like, even though GNX is third on my list, it's still strong because winning album of the year at the Grammys, the album is technically supposed to be a reflection of the energy of the culture of that year, right?
I continue. Yeah.
With that being said, Kendrick and what he's done, putting out records consistently, making fun records, making introspective records, creating storylines, his whole stadium tour, like a lot of that was the energy. I mean, Tyler's not far in there either.
No.
He's been doing, like, his last two albums crazy. So I'm saying that if we had to pick somebody, because the Clips has a great album, but their storyline doesn't necessarily reflect what the year is about, Kendrick and Tyler has that in their favor. And I think that's what makes somebody choose the album of the year, in my opinion.
I agree. What does it mean for the culture at large if Pusha T wins a Best Rap Album Grammy?
I think it opens up the floodgates for all our greats to come through and hit that button. All of them. And number one, like, Pusha need one of the. I know he don't care about accolades, but he need one of them, man. Pusha been putting in work, and Malice just made it even a stronger case. A stronger case.
What does it mean for the culture if Malice wins a Best Rap Album Grammy?
Come on, man. We need that. First off, God willing.
I mean, Pusha T, he wrote the goddamn McDonald's song, didn't he?
Exactly. So he got that. But still, it's like everybody tries their best to try to put him as an undertone of elite lyricist. You cannot do that. There have been records that featured Jay-Z or Kanye or Nas that he has obliterated them verses. He almost smoked everybody. So you got to put him in that conversation. I'm sorry. You can say it's all coke rap, but I don't care.
Well, that's the main thing. And hey, how about that aspect of the question? What does it mean if Pusha T wins a Grammy for his coke rap career?
Man, for that's just a stamp. That's the stamp that no matter where you come from, you can always translate it into something great of where you're going. Like, people don't realize the reason why coke rap is so attractive is not because they're talking about drugs. It's about talking about the hardships of what happens when you sell drugs. It's low key. It is the best dynamic arc storyline of our generation. The second one is sports.
It's not just coke rap. Scarface was coke movie.
Thank you. But
one was coke literature. Like,
right. But what was Scarface's storyline? When you first see him, he is on a boat, bummy as shit. When you see him in his final call, he is on the throne with an AK-47 in a mansion, and they're coming to get him.
It's the rap.
So everything in between is just great storyline. The closest to that are our basketball players, our football players. Even tech companies, they start from a place that we never start from. That's why I mean, like, when I listen to coke rap, when I listen to Incarcerated Scarfaces, when I listen to Pusha T's album, when I listen to Griselda, I'm listening for the energy of us going from point A, which is the gutter, to point Z, legendary status. That's what we tune into. Because if anybody knows, even if you don't know how to boil a pot with water and cook, even if you don't know nothing about that, you know what it feels like to boil some noodles in the same pot that probably you had to boil. Come on, man, come on, and you know what that feel like when you
hate you for that connection, man.
These noodles, yo. That's all I'm saying. That's why it resonates with us so much. And that's why when these albums like this come out, it ends up being great bodies of work. The clips just started off an album talking about how the first verse was Malice talking about his dad and moms, and Malice said, yo, I know you was disappointed finding that work in the cupboard. He had a great dad, but he still went through the, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm sorry, this album of the year for me.
I feel you, and I great counselor rant. Another we could say at times Coke rapper just released an album, and it's pretty goddamn fire. What did you think of the Alfredo Part 2?
Oh yeah. Well, Freddie's unique. He's unique in a way where his lyrics is always there. And to be honest, I feel like, and I think people are warming up to it now, but I think in the beginning, like Freddie has his core fans, but I also think that a lot of the majority of the fans didn't tune into Freddie Gibbs because they felt like he out-rapped the beats that he was on, or he out-rapped the artist that was rapping on him with beats.
I'd agree with that, and I think I've heard that before. Yeah,
he be smoking niggas. But I think now they're starting to understand with the resurgence, probably in the past 5 years, that no.
Once he got with ad-lib, continue.
There you go. Exactly. The rappers that are very poetic and very lyrically inclined can also do records with the ones that have a little bit more of a simple delivery and cadence, but it works. That's why Freddie and Currency worked, because that was a time where when they worked on that project, it was dope beats from Alchemist, and then you had the super witty and lyrical, and you had the simple dope cadence and fly style. And I think that Freddie, even though he took a shot at Currency, I think Freddie owes it to Currency and gives him a shout out, because that's the reason why they started to notice Freddie a lot more, because of that blend of both of them. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that. Yeah, right. I definitely hear that. I've been liking Freddie since the GS. Since the GS.
I'm a big fan of Freddie. But I
hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I want to kind of flip the script. Like, is because it seems like bullshit. Is that just it seems like a continuation of what happened last year? Mm-hmm. It seems like, people are trying, not just him, but we had the whole, Joey with, the whole thing.
Joey, Ray Vaughn, the whole,
It's beef is beef just kind of like an afterthought nowadays, and people are just seeing what it did for, Drake and Dot, and just trying to make it seem like it, or is beef really just intrinsic still in 2025?
Well, first off, Drake wildin', and that's a whole
different video.
But I will say that rap beef, it's a part of the culture. As long as it continues to give us stellar music, I'm fine. Nobody's more dope music. That's the rule. Like, even with Freddie, like, I don't know Freddie personally, but in my opinion, I think music-wise, I think he throws shots at people because he's competitive. It's okay. Yeah, throw a shot at Biddy. Let's see what music come out of that. Yeah, throw a shot at Currency. Let's see what music come out of that. And I love all these guys. I don't want no actual true beef where they hate each other. I want the energy of what dope music comes from when you talk shit and say I can out rap or I can outperform this person. Because what Freddie said was, I could have did the record that me and Currency did by myself. because I got enough bars. I could have did it by myself. It's a slap in the face to Currency, but I think all that's gonna do is make Currency go crazy on these records and drop a classic. I'm with that. I'm with it all.
Now, I'm with it too, and I would love to hear the next Currency classic.
For sure. We all waiting for it. Same thing with what happened with Benny. Same thing with Joey Bad. I'm waiting for a Joey Badass project. I can't wait to hear, because them diss records he was doing, he made those sound like full dope ass songs. You feel what I'm saying? I'm waiting to hear even Ray Vaughn. Ray Vaughn got so much in the can right now. From what I hear,
he better be working his ass off.
Hey, he going crazy. But that's what I'm saying. All of these things, as long as it leads to good hip hop, we have across our 52 plus years of hip hop, we have experienced great albums and great runs that came from beefs. Keep that shit going.
Most definitely. Please, y'all. You please, Rob. You know, someone who's invested in actually making this music that we fucking love.
100%.
And great transition, man. With all of that being said, all of that to say, where is it going? This thing of ours, hip hop. You know, what we are consuming, what's being put to us, what we are able to seek out that's not being put to us. Because again, like, you know, like we've built up to this point, the game is kind of like, well, what did Tip say? I think, well, Daddy, don't you know that thing's going cycles? Bobby Brown is just ample like Michael. Yeah, well, I don't know what record that was. I know it was on the Low End Theory. With all this dope shit that's being released, are we gonna see like these younger artists and these newer artists adapting to what used to be, or is it just going to continue, or how much are they going to adapt and adopt what was and what's being thrown in their face right now with all the greatness? And you know, and the other way around too. Don't let me forget.
Right. I want to answer that question. And first off, it's in two parts, creatively and business wise. I'll say this. I'll just tell you this quick story that just happened. So, my son, he's a rapper and producer as well. My oldest, Makai, they call him Supercore, right? So, salute to my knucklehead, to Fats. So, he makes music and he does his thing. He'll just text me and be like, yo, I just dropped a new record, man. Go check it out on Spotify. Like, he got his own program. He do his thing, right? So his style is more like, you know what I'm saying, little bit of that, like a little yachty, you know, up-tempo. He might even talk some drill shit. He, you know, because that's his creative way of expressing himself and doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he understands entertainment. So he's putting out his records. He got his fan base. He do his thing. But then he hit me one day. I'm sitting there. I'm in the studio. He at the house. He cooking up, and he hit me. He said, "Yo, do me a favor. Listen to this beat I made, and then if you hear something, like, just add to it or whatever. Add some drums or whatever." He's like, I just chopped up some stuff. I was like, "Send it to me." When he sent it, I'm like, "You made this?" I'm like, "Oh, he coming for me." He made a hip hop sample chop that was so fire. And I'm like, yo. So I added a couple of extra touches and changes and whatnot. And then I was like, I sent it to my business partner, Bad. He was like, yeah, that's fire. And then I sent it to Doe. When I sent it to Doe, he like, yo, this is fire. I'm like, yo, your nephew made that. He like, what? So he sent it to OT the Real, right? OT the Real put 2 verses on it in a hook, and he sent it back. And I'm like, oh my God. So I sent it to my son, and he like, yeah, that's fire. I said, you see what happened? I said, look, first off, I commend you. I appreciate you for even jumping in my lane. I said, number 2, who do you think you are jumping in my lane like I'm not finna get no get back? You know what I mean? But I'm saying that to say hip hop creatively is fine. The ones who are going to find their way into blending styles, it's okay. You know, like even if there's a style that's happening that's modern right now, man, if there's a particular legendary artist that can adapt to that style in its rightful cadence, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. The creativeness is going to work itself out. That's cool. My problem is business-wise, we need to have more of our legends owning boutique labels, owning boutique distribution companies, because we need to start taking some of this power back. We can't keep going to the labels this whole time. Empire has done a great job. Rock Nation is trying to do their thing with distribution. There's a lot of companies out there that's trying to do things, but we just need more. We need to start breaking up these palettes of artists having a place to go. Because if they keep going to these majors, they're just going to be treated like dollar signs. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I question our next 40, 50 years of hip hop.
Word up, man. Well said. And straight up, did I buy Makai's first beat machine? No, I'm yo, dude. I love to hear it. Most definitely, man. And again, well said. I guess I kind of think the same. And again, adversely, we need like some of the older heads to adapt the younger sound.
Right.
At the very least, they don't have to adhere to the ethos, because we old now, we can't really just be doing what they do, but like we can definitely tie it in. Just like Makai is doing, straight up and down. I love it, man.
That's for real. And I'm gonna say it. We need an Andre 3000 album. Come on, man. Stop playing. Stop being in your feelings about I don't know what to talk about. Stop, bro.
What year you think that is? Did 20 Money 5 convince Andre 3000 to make an album to drop in 2026?
I would love for him to do it like now. But yeah, next year, if he could give it to us next year, we don't even need a whole album. Just give us an EP.
He is not giving y'all an album. Stop it.
Yeah, just give us an EP. Just give us 5 joints.
He ain't giving y'all that. He is giving y'all, when you see him, you see him. And you can talk to him about rap if you want.
I am.
Me too.
I'm be like, look, I know you don't want to have this conversation. I know. I said, but let me just say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I said, I know in my heart and my soul that Andre 3000 has 5 concepts and 2 verses per concept. I know it. And whenever you find those, just give it to us. That's it. 5 concepts that
you don't need to find
it. It could be about 5 experiences that you have gone through or seen, and 2 verses per each concept. That's it.
I believe him. I believe him. Like straight up and down. Like he just don't have it. He don't have it no more. I believe him. I believe him. Like that's what he says. This is y'all GOAT. He's telling y'all what it is, and y'all just like
look.
No hate to Andre 3000.
He don't owe us nothing. But I'm gonna definitely be greedy with my hip hop. So if I need another Hove album, I'm saying Hove, we need another album. We need another album. I'm gonna be greedy.
I need an album from Andre 3000 before I need one from Jay-Z. Straight up.
I believe in that. No, for sure. I believe in that. I mean, listen, it's no doubt in my mind that as long as he meet the guidelines of what is considered an album in the Grammys, he's going to get a Grammy.
Yeah,
undoubtedly. And you know what? You know who I think, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. I think he should just think about this. What if 3000 and the Boogeyman do an EP? Oh my God. What if Andre 3000 and Kendrick Lamar do an EP? And it's just, hey, we don't care about no party records. We don't care about how long or short it's supposed to be. It's just greatest.
It's got me thinking, who else would Andre 3000 do an album with next week? that you would just hear that came out of nowhere, who else would that be?
Come on.
Other than Big Boy. Other than Big Boy.
Dude, it's so many levels.
Look,
we have not got an Andre 3000 and a R&B or eclectic artist album. We need that. We need an EP with just him rhyming. Him with Kendrick Lamar is fire. I would even go as far as damn, Andre and Alchemist. Come on. What are we talking about? Andre, look, Andre 3000 and Robert Glasper, Terrence Martin, Thundercat. What are we talking about?
Andre 3000 and Local Astronauts is what I'm talking about.
Oh, for sure.
No, man, but there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all, I'm tired of talking about Andre 3000.
We'll do an album where there's one track for 30 fucking minutes. The songs change, everything changes, but you can only listen to this project if you go all the way through. We'll put the slice version in 6 months. You gotta listen to this one track. If it's 35 minutes, the whole album, you gotta go through.
I like the vision, Rob. I really do.
You know what I'm saying?
It's you through and through, and it sounds like it appeals to him.
Movie type shit. He got to come over here. Man, hey, come over here to LA. Come lock in.
So that's dope, man. That's what I'm talking about. What's what is 2025 catapulted for Local Astronauts? What is the year in hip hop done so far? Of course, we still got a few months to go.
I think people are starting to understand truly what we do. I think it's not going to be nobody really truly know until a couple of years from now. But I think the way we collab with people on certain records, the way we do sound design is very unique. So it's prepared us to be able to give y'all higher dosage levels of music and even creative too. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of creative things that we're going to be doing with our content and different approaches to doing rollouts than what you would normally see. You know what I mean? So that's what we're working on, man. And when I tell you, like first and foremost, you're going to get some records that are just going to come out at a just rapid pace from all different types of people that we work with. But then when you get this Local Astronauts album, you'll finally get the core of how we approach music. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like a TF album. It doesn't sound like a Noah James album. It doesn't sound like anything that we do when we produce people for their projects. Completely different. You know what I mean? So I definitely got to press play on you, man. I got to give you a sneak peek, man. It's just crazy.
Come on, man. Because like in my experience with you, and nothing is ever just work. It's a damn experience.
Right.
I can only imagine how, it feels when you get in the room with these people who you revere and that you've been listening to forever. Yeah. And people that you just started listening to and who have impacted you in that way. And I already know, man. Yeah.
The fun part is the blend, like finding the connectors between how the newer artist works with the legendary artist, like how that comes together to make it to where this always existed. Like in my opinion, it's like you make a record to make it feel like it's been here forever. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it dope. You know what I mean?
Word up, man. You pressing play now?
No. No, but me and you go get on get on like just a live, just private live, and I'll press play on you for sure.
Let me fight him off, man. I am Frank 5P. I hear everything before Rob.
Yeah. Come on, man. You already know. Anytime. We need to do this more often.
We really do, man. Yeah. We all busy. You busy. I'm busy. The dog is busy.
Right. I finally got my live streaming set up like the way I want it, so I can be anywhere in the world and just do this. You know what I'm saying? I actually have to do some content tonight, just to drop some new stuff tonight. So yeah, man, we gonna keep going, man. I appreciate you forever, man. Let's go, man.
You had a big weekend, man. You gotta drop real soon, man.
Yes, sir.
Or
yes, sir.
I'm gonna definitely be tuned in. Yo, yeah. I'm Frank 5D, the anomaly sworn sovereignly, high snobbity. Who we got here?
You already know the Council Polyrob, man. Local astronauts. Just find us where you find us, man. Space or local, it don't matter.
Positive energy activates constant elevation.
Peace.